Momo, and my grandchildren wanted me to read this book so that they could share it with their friends and other people that might want to hear this book. The way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to read it and then I'll show the pictures. This is Santa is Coming to Birmingham, written by Stephen Smallman and illustrated by Robert Dunn. And I think that this is a fun book to help you see Santa coming to your area of the United States. And they have them different places. Well, boomed Santa, have all the children from Birmingham been good this year? Well, mostly, answered the little old elf as he buckled across the busy workshop to Santa's desk. Santa peered down at the elf from behind the tall, teetering piles of letters that children of Birmingham had sent him. Mostly? Said Santa, looking over his glasses. Yes, but they've all been especially good the last few days, said the elf. Jolly good, chuckled Santa. Then we better get the presents loaded up. This page is sticking. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Even though the sack of presents was really, really big and the elves were really, really small, they seemed to have trouble loading it into Santa's sleigh. Though how they managed to fit such a big sack into a little sleigh, even they didn't know, but somehow they did it. Splendid, boomed Santa. We're ready to go. Not quite, Santa, said the little old elf. One of our reindeer is missing. Oh my goodness. It's not going to be good if a reindeer is missing, is it? Missing? Which reindeer is missing? Asked Santa. The youngest one, Santa, said the elf. If his first flight tonight, I called him, but just then a young reindeer strolled up, munching a carrot. Where have you been? Asked Santa. But the youngest reindeer was crunching so loudly that it was no wonder he hadn't heard the little elf calling. Oh, well, never mind, said Santa, giving the reindeer a little wink. He looked out of his Santa NAV and tapped into the coordinates of the Birmingham, Alabama. This will guide us to Birmingham in no time. Crunch, 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 crunch. The reindeer's crunching that carrot. He wasn't too worried about it. But Santa was, wasn't he? With a flick of the reins and a jerk of the harness, off they went, racing through the sky. Ho, 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 laughed Santa. We'll soon have all these presents delivered to the Magic City. I'm having trouble with these pages wanting to stick. Santa's sleigh flew through the starry night, headed out south across the Atlantic Ocean, the Arctic Ocean, and on they flew. In the air above Canada, in the wink of the eye, the sleigh was flying over Indiana and into Alabama. The youngest reindeer was very excited. He had never been away from the North Pole before. This was his first trip. Imagine your first trip with Santa, going to deliver presents. That would be exciting. They had just crossed Ruffner Mountain Nature Center when suddenly they ran into a thick fog. Mist whirled around the sleigh. They couldn't see a thing. The youngest reindeer was getting a bit worried, but Santa didn't seem concerned. In 2 miles, said Santa on his NAV in a bossy lady voice, keep left at the next star. But ma'am, Santa blustered, I can't see any stars at all in this fog. Soon they were hopelessly lost. Oh my goodness, have you ever been lost? It's a bad feeling, isn't it? Then through the foggy blanket, the youngest reindeer heard a faint ringing sound. Ding dong. He looked over at the old reindeer with the red nose, but he had his head down. Red nose, I wonder who this could be. Who would have a red nose? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. There was that sound again, like church bells ringing. The youngest reindeer turned around and looked at Santa, but Santa wasn't listening. He seemed to be arguing with a little box with a button on it. With a flick of the harness and a jerk of the reins, the youngest reindeer gave a tug and headed off toward the sound of the bells, pulling Santa and his sleigh behind him. Look, he went a different direction. He was following the bells. He heard them and he was going to go and see what they were. "Whoa," said Santa, pulling his hat straight. "What's going on?" Then to his surprise, he heard the ringing sound. "Well done, young reindeer," he shouted cheerfully. "It must be the bells of 16th Street Baptist Church. Don't worry, children, Santa is coming." Then suddenly, crunch! The sleigh hit something as it plummeted through the fog. "You have arrived," said the Santa's NAV unhelpfully. Finally, when the fog had cleared and the clouds parted, Santa discovered exactly where they were and stuck right at the very top of the Christmas tree near Birmingham City Hall. There they are at the top of the Christmas tree. "Everybody pull!" The reindeer pulled with all their might until at last the screeching noise, the sleigh scraped clear of the Christmas tree, and Santa steered them safely past the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, over the Jazz Hall of Fame, above UAB, past the Vulcan, and down into Oak Mountain State Park. So they got out of the tree and they're going to different places in Birmingham. Luckily, there was no real danger done, but the packages had all been jumbled up. Santa quickly sorted the presents into order again. "All right," said Santa. "Thanks for this, young reindeer. I know where we are now. Don't worry, children. Santa is coming." Santa drove his sleigh expertly from rooftop to rooftop all over Birmingham, popping in and out of chimneys as fast as he could go, which was pretty fast for a chubby fellow. There were big chimneys in Red Mountain, small chimneys in Vestavia Hills. He squeezed down thin chimneys in Homewood and plummeted down fat chimneys in Southside. The youngest reindeer was amazed how quickly they went. Santa never seemed to get tired at all, and it looked like all the children in Birmingham were going to be very lucky this year. But the youngest reindeer was starting to feel a bit weary and quite hungry too. It had been a long night for him, and all he had had was a carrot. In the house after house, Santa delved inside his sack for packages of every shape and size. He piled them under the Christmas trees and carefully filled up the stockings with surprises. In house after house, the good children of Birmingham had left out a plate of cookies, a small glass of milk, and a big crunchy carrot. Santa took a little bit out of each cookie. A tiny sip of milk wiped his beard and popped the carrots into his sack. So he ate the cookies, he ate the milk, drank the milk, and he put the carrots in his bag. Wonder who he's going to put those carrots in there for. From Huffman to Hoover, from Mountain Brook to Bentwood, from Avondale to Gardendale, and all the places in between, Santa and his sleigh visited every house in Birmingham. Santa delivered presents to Aiden, Addison, Braden, Brooklyn, Chloe, Caleb. The list went on and on. Yasmin, Zachary, Sandy, Zibble. Zibble, that must be a spelling mistake. Finally, Santa had delivered the last present on his long Birmingham list. "Great moons and stars," sighed Santa. "It's past midnight and my sack is heavy as ever. I hope I hadn't forgotten anyone." Santa opened his sack to check. It was full of juicy carrots. Santa divided the carrots among all the reindeer. "Well done," he said, patting the youngest reindeer gently on the nose. But the youngest reindeer didn't hear him. He was too busy munching his carrot. Then it was time to set off for home. Santa reset his Santa NAV once more and into the North Pole, and soon they were speeding above Lake Purdy, over the Talladega Super Speedway, through the crisp starry skies. "Ho, ho, ho," laughed Santa. "Merry Christmas, Birmingham." I hope you enjoyed the story. Merry Christmas.